Welcome to the High Level Entrepreneur podcast with me, Joella Skog. In today's episode, I want to share a little bit more about my own background and my origins, where I started my business, how I got to where I am today, and specifically from the lens of how I built industry leadership and how I became the go-to person in various niches over the years and what that really took, as well as how I help clients today become the premium choice in their industry, become an authority, become listed as one of the top people in their industries, have all of the high level clients want to work with them, be highly paid, way above market average price. All right. That's what I wanted to talk about using my own story and where I come from, basically. So I started my business over 6 years ago now, and I truly started from absolutely nothing. I didn't have money, leads, personal brand, network, nothing. I think most people probably start with something. Like they might have a year of savings, they might have a network, they might have a client or a lead, but I just had zero. And even from the beginning, I knew that I wanted to become someone who attracted leads to me. And I wanted to work with high level clients. At the time, I was, as a consultant, working with corporations because that's the background I come from. I had no idea of becoming a mentor, business mentor, coach. Like that was nothing, not at all part of my plan. Like that was a job that came to me. That's not something I ever tried to be. It's just something that I was supposed to be, and that's why it happened. But initially, with all of my background experience in marketing and the corporate world with B2C marketing, that was natural for me to start a business around that. And I knew that I wanted to attract clients to me. I knew that I wanted to become highly paid in my industry. I had goals and ambitions because even though at the time, like my main goal was just to be able to take out a salary, like most people, right? And live off of my business, I also had the long-term vision and the long-term goal of I want to become the go-to person, highly paid, become a speaker, like all of that. And I think my having high ambitions and a belief in myself from the beginning was key. Because yes, I didn't have anything, but I had my mind, my intellect, I had my passions, interests, and that's all you need. You need that, and you need self-trust, and you need self-belief and confidence. And I think confidence is not real if it's dependent on external validation. If it's dependent on needing clients, needing engagement on your social media, needing a personal brand, etc. Like when I started growing my brand and people started noticing me, for me it didn't feel like it was a shock or a surprise or something that shouldn't be happening. It felt neutral, like it felt natural. And I'm just being completely honest with you. And why is this? It's because my identity was aligned with the vision of someone who attracts people to them, who is sought after in their industry. So that's precisely what started happening. I built my brand. I took my business seriously. Sure, in the beginning, had a little bit of fear of what people would think when they saw me online. But that fear was pretty easy to get over because I was like, either I want a successful business and make money and have clients, or I succumb to my fears or beliefs about what other people might think. So I felt like that was pretty easy to overcome when you look at the benefit of it. And so that's where I started. And I started building my brand. And what was so cool was pretty quickly, I started attracting like dream clients to me. I started attracting leads. I started having conversations with people I previously would look up to. And that's why I still say today, like the best way to attract interesting people to you, like high level people to you, is to be an interesting person, is to be high level if you want to attract high level. And what does that really mean? Well, I would say that means not censoring yourself. I would say it means seeing yourself as a leader and as an authority in your industry, because people who think like an authority and think very highly of themselves, like high level clients, premium clients do, they want to work with people who also think highly of themselves, who is an authority, who feels confident in their abilities, right? And that's why when it comes to like attracting premium clients to you, it's way more complex than believing that you just need to follow a certain strategy or write your content a certain way. No, you need to be highly valuable. You need to be interesting, and you need to show people that. A lot of people either don't value enough their own personal development and involvement and don't bother so much about thinking of your long-term vision and establishing that sense of inner authority and inner industry leadership before other people, consider them an industry leader. But also, you should not censor yourself. You should not allow all of that, all of those interesting parts of you, your opinions, your perspectives, your unique point of view. You should not allow any of that go to waste because you believe that you need to fit into a certain image of what it means to be a marketing consultant, or what it means to be a coach, or what it means to be whatever it is you do, or succumb to your fears of what will other people think? What if someone disagrees with me? What if I get hate or whatever it is? Like, the truth of the matter is nobody is going to remember someone who is a quiet mouse in the corner, not saying anything, just trying to blend in. Okay. That's why building industry leadership actively means sometimes going against your industry, going against what everyone else is saying, and saying something different, doing something completely different. And that's why it's basically going against your instinct of wanting belonging to the group, because it's literally about stepping outside of the group and walking your own path, right? And this like thing of not caring what other people thought, I mean, for me, it's like, who? Who would I even care about? Like, my former colleagues? Why? They're not relevant to what I'm doing right now. Like, my friends? Like, maybe they think I'm cringe, but I don't really care. Like, who is it that I actually care about? Like, what does it really matter? All that matters is that the effort I'm making in my brand, in my personal brand, in my authority, in my marketing, is making a difference in my achieving my goals and my purpose, right? The thing is, I started attracting leads, attracting clients, and I'm not going to say that things went quickly for me in terms of the revenue being there, because I think I wasn't clear myself on what my business model was or what I wanted to sell to people, because I just focused so hard on building my brand that sales was like not the number one priority. Looking back, if I had done something differently, it would be to have a little bit more of a business model and a specific offer to actually sell to people when they contact me. But I started getting all these opportunities, speaking gigs. I signed a dream client just within a few months, and like that led to another dream client. Like, I started getting opportunities to me, and I started feeling like I found some kind of key to success. Like there was a secret and I found it, and why isn't everyone else doing this? Like, I started realizing how valuable it is what I was doing, building authority in my industry, because what I did differently at the time was I didn't just try to share my knowledge. I knew that I needed to be top of mind in a specific area. So I chose a specific area to be top of mind in. I not only created content around that, but I also went against my entire industry. And I believed in something that other people did not. And my entire industry, my colleagues in that industry just didn't believe in what I believed in. Okay, so to be specific, it was TikTok at the time. I believed in TikTok as a marketing channel, and none of my marketing industry colleagues believed in that, and nobody else was talking about it. So I was the only marketer in my industry online in my country to speak about TikTok as a marketing channel. So that's why very quickly my brand completely blew up, because I was speaking about the future and who was interested in new digital channels in the future and how a brand can grow. Well, CEOs and marketing directors. So those are who I started to connect with. And all of that really led me to a point where I felt like I could pick and choose what clients I attracted, what clients I wanted to work with. I was able to go live abroad in Italy and either trust that I could say no to clients and I would still get new clients to come to me. But also I, I could say to clients like, no, I live in Italy. Like, I'm not going to travel to Sweden to hold a workshop for you, but I can do it online and still charging the exact same amount, because I was sought after in my industry and I was attracting leading Swedish brands and international brands to want to work with me, not as a consultant. Like, I did have some consulting gigs as well, but I mainly did workshops and speaking and courses for clients. And that's what I love to do, because I could charge a really high ticket price for that kind of stuff and not have to work all day. So I spent my days like exploring Italy while doing a couple of hours of a workshop here and there, until I finally became completely fully booked with consulting clients, workshops, like all of that stuff. And meanwhile, I was also starting to coach entrepreneurs on the side, because people saw what I had done with my brand and that I had become an industry leader. I was on speaking at all the different events. I was working with top brands, and people just connected my name to my niche, and people saw what I was doing, so they wanted to be coached by me. So it's so interesting that I never started my business wanting to be a mentor. I never started my business having any sort of plan to advise anyone. I just wanted to work for big brands. I had this moment, well, after coaching a client, after leaving the call, that I felt like, holy shit, I think I just found what I meant to be doing. Like, I think I just found my thing, because I felt such an immense sense of alignment and happiness and purpose and joy from doing that, that I started to realize that I don't feel like that when I work with corporations. I don't feel like that when I help people sell more products online. I love supporting solopreneurs. So it was something that came to me. So I realized that working with corporations was no longer my calling. And that's when I needed to make a shift in my business. That's when I needed to actually completely let go of everything I had built. I had built a strong personal brand, a network, had CEOs and marketing directors, leads in I could see such a clear path of how I could grow immense success and how I could grow an agency, how I could partner up with all these people, because I had a really strong brand and network. And I wanted to get rid of all that to target solopreneurs and help solopreneurs grow their businesses instead. And at the time, you could imagine that, oh, are you going to scratch all that and start from zero? But the thing is, I wasn't starting from zero, because I had built my brand not just based on my expertise and being top of mind in a niche, but I had grown my brand as a leader as someone people wanted to follow, as someone people wanted to know, as someone people had immense trust with. So that meant even though I shifted my entire business and I no longer needed to attract any marketing directors or CEOs as clients at all, and I now wanted to attract a completely different solopreneur type of person, I didn't really start from scratch because I didn't lead my personal brand from a traditional personal brand perspective, where you're just trying to grow visibility, you're trying to be seen as an expert in an industry, but I grew it from a place of, yes, I have expertise. Yes, I'm good at this. Like, this is why you would want to work with me. But I am a leader. I am an interesting person to get to know. I am leading from my identity as someone who can be a leader in my industry no matter what that industry is, like regardless of the industry, regardless of the niche. And that's why I was able to pivot from working with CEOs and marketing directors to pivoting into working with solopreneurs, and just in a few months, like filling up my first high ticket program, because I had already trust, like I already had that level of credibility and authority that I needed to pivot into something else. And that's why I think building your brand as an industry leader is actually the most valuable thing you can do, because it's not just about being an expert in a niche or in a specific industry, but it's about being an interesting person that people want to know, people want to follow, no matter what you sell. Like, my goal for everyone that works with me is that, yes, they attract all the premium clients, they become top of mind, they are the go-to person, they lead themselves through everything, and they are literally, people want to work with them because of who they are. And when people want to work with you because of who you are, it doesn't really matter what you sell, doesn't really matter who your ideal client is. Those things are not unimportant, completely unimportant, but it means that you're very easily able to pivot from one niche to another, from one client to another. And I've done this several times in my business. Like, I pivoted from having a personal branding on LinkedIn program to having a high ticket offer packaging program to having Industry Leader Lounge, which is a high level networking community and my mentorship space for clients that scale their businesses from identity. And when you lead your business, when you scale your business from your identity, when you grow your brand from identity, when you build authority from identity, there's a certain level of legacy and foreverness that is attributed to that. And because of my brand and my visibility and my network, I am so confident that I can do anything. Like, as an entrepreneur, I can do anything. As an entrepreneur, I can start 10 different companies. I can cancel all of my offers and create new offers. Like, it doesn't really matter, because I have an audience of people who want to work with me because of who I am and because of how I lead and where I lead from, and not just from having a brain with a lot of knowledge and experience, right? Those things are not useless, but that's also something that's very copyable. So, but when you start leading your authority and leading from authority in a place of being an industry leader, you're uncopyable. Like, then you are adding your perspectives, you're adding your uniqueness, you are adding you to the market. Like, people don't know what they need until you show up and suddenly you're the one that they want to work with. They don't just want a business coach. They don't just want a consultant. They don't just want an expert in this area or a virtual assistant, whatever it could be. Like, they want one person, and that's going to be you. That's what you want to create in your personal brand. That's the kind of legacy you want to create in your personal brand. So I truly, truly started from absolutely zero, right? Nothing, network, personal brand, money, nothing. And I was able to create everything I have today. People come to me, premium clients want to work with me. I have a great salary, I'm in a good place in my life, I live abroad, I'm able to decline clients. I just did declined a client the other day because it just didn't feel aligned. And that's like, for me, that's a dream life. And that is because I led with authority, I led with industry leadership, but it wasn't because of how good I am at writing. It's because of how I led myself from within. It's because of my identity. That's why in Industry Leader Lounge, which is my mentorship space and network, like why I have this group is because I've done this for so long that I know you could get all of the strategies and frameworks, everything. Like you could work with the best business coaches in the world. You could have like the best consultants in the world help you. But if your identity is not there, if your identity is not aligned with bigger results or with industry leadership, if it's not fully there, you're not going to get there. Because you don't grow that level of legacy from being good at writing or being good at creating Instagram reels. Like you grow it from identity. And that's what I wanted to teach, because I feel like I'm teaching a secret to people. Like I feel like I'm teaching something that not even the successful people will teach others. Like they'll teach something else. They won't teach the real thing that got them to where they are. And that's what I wanted to teach in Industry Leader Lounge. That's how I mentor my clients. I don't tell my clients, I want you to go write a piece of content on this thing. Like that's not what it is. It's like, I want you to approach your industry leadership from this and that perspective. And these are the blocks and the shadows that's currently blocking you from currently showing up in that. So that's why when people start to work with me, they become a different person. Their life starts to look differently. They start to work with people who they've never worked with before, high level clients. They start to become positioned as a premium choice in the industry. They start hitting like 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K months. Why does that happen? Because of their identity upgrade that occurs. Okay, not because they learned how to write a piece of content, not because they took another course on a framework or because they followed another strategy. It's because of who they become, while also being able to hold them through the strategy, because I am an entrepreneur and a business strategist. So I am holding those two things together, right? I'm able to support clients on both. And I hate when the perspective out there is like, all you need to do is just ABC and you will get result Y, because it's not accurate and it's not true. All right. If you want to be a part of Industry Leader Lounge, you can find the link in the description of this podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can also find it there. I would love to see your application if you are a six-figure entrepreneur who are scaling your business to multi-six figures or maybe even 7 figures. I want to see your application come in because I want to help you get there. I want to make you the premium choice in your industry. I want to make you an authority in your industry. I want to mentor you to get there, whether you need a strategic perspective or you need mindset perspective. I am that mentor for my clients. So I want to see your application come in. And that was all for today. Talk to you soon.